There's a quarterback storm brewing in Cleveland, and it's heating up faster than anyone expected. The question on everyone's mind as training camp looms closer is this: will the Browns roll with the veteran Joe Flacco or hand the keys to rookie sensation Shedeur Sanders? For a franchise that has spent years searching for quarterback stability, the situation in Berea this summer feels familiar and yet very different. Deshaun Watson is still recovering from his Achilles injury and is not expected to be fully cleared by the time the season kicks off. That leaves head coach Kevin Stefanski and the Browns front office with a critical decision to make. Go with experience and leadership in Joe Flacco, or invest in potential and electricity with Sanders. Flacco, now entering his 17th NFL season, joined Cleveland as a short-term insurance policy. But after last year's emergency run, where he led the Browns to crucial wins and earned praise for his poise under pressure, the narrative shifted. He's not just a placeholder. He's seen by many in the locker room as a stabilizing force. Reports out of many camps suggest that Flacco has picked up the playbook seamlessly, commanding respect from teammates and executing with sharpness during team drills. That respect isn't just internal. NFL legend Chris Carter made headlines last week when he went on record saying, "Shedeur's not ready. Joe Flacco gives them the best shot to win now." It's a sentiment echoed by more than a few analysts who believe the Browns are in a win-now window and can't afford to experiment under center. But don't count out Shedeur Sanders. The Colorado standout and son of Deion Sanders entered the league with hype, charisma, and undeniable arm talent. His deep ball flashes brilliance, and his mobility adds a dimension that Flacco simply can't replicate. The Browns coaching staff reportedly loves his upside, and Deshaun Watson himself has taken on a mentorship role, spending significant time helping Shedeur adjust to the speed and complexity of the pro game. However, early signs suggest Shedeur is still adjusting. Accuracy in short and intermediate throws has been inconsistent, and sources close to the team say the mental side of the game, the reads, the progressions, the timing, is still developing. In a crowded quarterback room that also includes rookie Dillon Gabriel, it's becoming clear that Sanders' raw potential won't be enough to win the job unless he shows major progress by August. Beyond the X's and O's, there's a cultural and leadership dynamic at play. Veteran leaders like Myles Garrett and Joel Bitonio are quietly pushing for continuity and trust in the huddle. They saw what Flacco brought to the field in the locker room last year, and they're not interested in another developmental season. They want wins. Now. At the same time, fans are split. Social media is buzzing with debates. Some want to see what Shedeur can do, feeling like this is the perfect moment to build for the future while Watson recovers. Others argue that the Browns roster is too talented to waste a season on learning curves and mistakes. With a revamped offensive line and a running back duo of Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson ready to explode, all this team needs is a steady hand at quarterback. So what does Stefanski do? Play it safe with the seasoned veteran who's already earned the locker room, or roll the dice on the rookie with a sky-high ceiling? What's clear is this: the quarterback competition in Cleveland isn't a sideshow, it's the main event. And whoever emerges on top could define the course of the Browns' entire 2025 season.
When you analyze this quarterback battle through a technical lens, the conversation gets more nuanced and far more compelling. Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders represent not just two different quarterbacks, but two entirely different philosophies on how the Browns could approach the 2025 season. Let's start with Flacco. Technically, he brings the most pro-ready package in the room. His footwork in the pocket remains sharp, his release is quick and consistent, and his understanding of coverages is elite level. During OTA sessions, reports described Flacco as surgical in 7-on-7s, especially when operating out of Stefanski's play-action-heavy sets. His familiarity with traditional West Coast concepts and quick-read progressions fits perfectly into the Browns' revamped offensive scheme, which now emphasizes timing, rhythm, and zone-read balance. More importantly, Flacco's calm under pressure is exactly what this team needs after years of inconsistency at the position. With the Browns expected to lean heavily on their run game, thanks to the emergence of Judkins and Sampson, Flacco's ability to manage the offense efficiently makes him an appealing choice to keep the chains moving and avoid turnovers. From a leadership standpoint, there's also no denying that Flacco has command. Reports indicate that during team walkthroughs, he's often seen correcting receiver routes or line protection calls without hesitation. That kind of authority earns trust quickly, especially with veterans who know how fine the margins are in a playoff race. In this context, Flacco feels like the adult in the room. Perhaps not flashy, but dependable in ways that matter most when the game is on the line. Now contrast that with Shedeur Sanders, who is as exciting as he is unpolished. Technically, his arm talent is undeniable. His velocity on outside throws and deep post routes pops on film. And when he's on rhythm, the ball comes out with zip and accuracy. Sanders also brings mobility that Flacco simply doesn't have. He's able to extend plays, throw in the move, and even scramble for first downs when the pocket collapses. This athletic versatility opens up Stefanski's playbook, allowing for bootlegs, RPOs, and design quarterback runs that can stress defenses in ways Flacco can't. But there's a cost to that upside. Sanders' decision-making under pressure has been inconsistent in early practices. He tends to hold the ball a beat too long when his first read is covered, and his processing speed against complex NFL disguises is still catching up. That hesitation leads to missed windows and potential sacks, mistakes the Browns can't afford if they're trying to stay in the AFC playoff hunt. Coaches are reportedly spending extra time with Sanders on play recognition and hot read identification, a clear sign that while the potential is there, it's not fully NFL ready. The fan base is already showing signs of division. On one side, you've got those who believe this is Flacco's job to lose. They argue that after last year's run and his veteran poise, he's earned the right to start, especially if Watson isn't ready. They cite how dangerous this team's defense is, how stacked the offensive roster is, and how all it needs is a steady quarterback to lead it. These fans want the Browns to compete, not rebuild, and they believe Flacco gives them the best chance to win in September. On the other side are the believers in Shedeur. To them, this season is an opportunity to build towards something bigger. They see Shedeur as the future, not just a fill-in, and believe that live reps early in the year could accelerate his development and potentially unlock a new era in Cleveland. The name Shedeur carries weight, and the connection to Deion Sanders brings a certain national spotlight that Flacco simply doesn't attract. This camp sees value in taking the risk now, especially if Watson's timeline remains uncertain. Online debates have intensified as local reporters share daily updates from camp. One day, Flacco looks unbeatable in red zone drills. The next, Shedeur hits a 45-yard bomb that turns heads. The inconsistency in practice performances has only fueled speculation that this decision might not be made until late in preseason, if at all. It's also worth noting that the Browns' front office and coaching staff aren't tipping their hand. Stefanski has publicly praised both quarterbacks, emphasizing competition and saying the team is in great hands no matter who starts. But privately, insiders suggest that there's growing urgency to solidify the depth chart before the first preseason game, especially with a tough early schedule on the horizon. So, what's the end game here? If Watson isn't healthy by week 1, the Browns will need to decide what matters more, short-term stability or long-term potential. Do they lean on the battle-tested veteran who's already won them games, or do they hand the offense to a rookie who could either rise spectacularly or fall just as fast? The answer isn't obvious yet, but it's coming. And when it does, it won't just shape the quarterback room. It could define the direction of the entire franchise for years to come.
Let's be honest, no matter what happens in this quarterback battle, there's going to be backlash. That's just the nature of football in Cleveland. This isn't just about who throws the better spiral in training camp. This is about momentum. This is about identity. And this is about trust. Trust in the coaching staff, trust in the front office, and trust in the direction this team is heading. If you're asking for our take here at Dawg Pound Daily, here's the raw, unfiltered opinion. This should be Joe Flacco's job, unless Shedeur Sanders blows the doors off in preseason games. Not just decent flashes, not just highlight throws. He needs to prove he can run a complete offense from start to finish against actual NFL defenses. Until then, the Browns can't afford to hand him the keys to a playoff-ready roster based on upside alone. This team is built to win now. You don't have Myles Garrett in his prime, a loaded defensive line, a reliable ground game, and veteran leaders in every unit just to throw the season away, developing a quarterback who might not be ready. Cleveland has spent the last 2 decades chasing stability at quarterback. They found a little with Watson before the injury. Flacco, as a backup, gave them something they haven't had in years. Calm, confidence, someone who wouldn't panic. That matters. Now, if Shedeur turns the corner in August and shows undeniable growth, everything changes. The best-case scenario for Cleveland is that Sanders earns the job outright by proving he's not just flashy, but reliable. If he does that, you give him the ball. You let the future start now. But until that happens, you go with the guy who already proved he can handle this. What makes this debate so tough is that both options have real merit, and the margin between safe and exciting feels razor thin. That's where Stefanski's leadership will be tested more than ever. He has to read the room, trust what he sees, not just in practice, but in how the team responds to each quarterback. Because this decision isn't just tactical, it's psychological. It sends a message to the locker room, to the fans, and to the rest of the league about who the Browns are trying to be in 2025. From our conversations with fans, and based on what we're seeing across social media and Browns forums, most of the Dog Pound wants to win. That's the priority. The time for rebuilding, for dreaming about the future, that window has passed. It's time to deliver. That means every decision has to serve that goal, including who lines up under center. But now we want to hear from you. If you're reading this, if you're watching this video, you're part of this community. You care. You've stuck with this team through the chaos, the heartbreak, the endless quarterback carousel. So tell us, what do you think is the right call? Do you ride with the veteran who's proven he can lead this team when it matters? Or do you roll the dice on a rookie with a rocket arm and the weight of a dynasty name? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's make this a real Dog Pound debate. And don't hold back. We know you won't. Also, make sure you're subscribed because we're going to be tracking this battle every step of the way with real-time camp updates, preseason breakdowns, and reactions the moment Stefanski makes the call. And if Shedeur ends up being the guy, we'll be the first to say it. We'll ride with him, just like we always ride with the Browns. But until that moment, we believe the smart move is this. Let Flacco take the wheel until someone proves they can do it better. No more hoping, no more guessing. It's time to win.